Welcome back to the Practical English Podcast. I'm your host, Mike.
And I'm Angela. It's great to be with you all again.
So, Angela, today we're tackling a topic that's fundamental to everyone's life, no matter where you're from. We're going to talk about our homes.
That's right. Describing where you live is one of the first things you learn to do when you're making new friends or talking to colleagues. It's a great way to share a bit about your life.
Exactly. So in this episode, we'll give you all the essential vocabulary and phrases you need. We'll cover the type of place you live in, its location, the rooms, and how to describe it all.
Let's start with the basics. Mike, where do you live? Do you live in a house or an apartment?
I live in a house. Specifically, it's a detached house, which means it's a standalone building and doesn't share any walls with another house. It's got a small front yard and a backyard. What about you?
Oh, nice. I'm an apartment dweller. I live in an apartment building in the city. My place is on the third floor.
Right, and that's a key distinction for our listeners. The two main categories are house and apartment. In British English, you'll often hear flat instead of apartment, but they mean the same thing.
Exactly. And within houses, there are different types. You mentioned a detached house. There's also a semi-detached house, which is joined to one other house on one side.
And a terraced house or a townhouse in American English is one that's in a row of similar houses joined together.
Right. You see a lot of those in older cities. And for apartments, you might live in a large apartment building or a smaller block of flats. If you own your apartment, it might be called a condo or condominium.
Good point. There's also a studio apartment, which is a small apartment that's basically just one big room for living, sleeping, and cooking.
Perfect for one person. Let's not forget some other types, like a cottage, which is usually a small, charming house in the countryside, or a bungalow, which is a house that only has one floor or one story.
Great examples. So to recap for everyone listening, you could say, I live in a townhouse, or I have a small apartment in the city center.
Okay, that brings us nicely to our next point, location. Describing where your home is located is just as important as what type of home it is.
Absolutely. Location, 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 as they say. So my house is in the suburbs. That means it's in a residential area just outside the main city center. It's quieter than living downtown.
Right, and I'm the opposite. I live right in the city center, or downtown as it's often called in North America. It's a very lively area, which I love. There's always something happening.
Some other useful phrases here could be on the outskirts of the city, which means at the very edge of the city, or in the countryside if you live far from any big towns surrounded by nature.
And you can also describe your neighborhood. For example, I live in a quiet, family-friendly neighborhood, or my apartment is in a bustling commercial district.
That's a good one. People also often talk about convenience. For example, my house is conveniently located near a train station, so my commute to work is easy.
Yes, convenience is key. I could say, my place is great because it's within walking distance of grocery stores and cafes. That means I can walk there easily, no car needed.
Or you might say something like, there's a beautiful park just around the corner, or it's only a short drive to the beach. These details really help paint a picture for the listener.
Okay, so we've covered the type of home and its location. Now let's go inside. Let's talk about rooms and the general layout.
Sounds good. Let's start with the basics. Most homes have a kitchen where you cook,
A living room where you relax and watch TV,
one or more bedrooms for sleeping,
and a bathroom, of course. Some bigger houses might have more than one bathroom, maybe an ensuite bathroom that's connected to the main bedroom.
Right. Other common rooms include a dining room for eating meals, a hallway or corridor that connects the rooms, and maybe a study or home office for work.
My apartment doesn't have a separate dining room. It has an open plan layout. This means the kitchen, dining area, and living room are all in one large open space. It's very common in modern apartments.
Open plan, that's a great term. My house is more traditional with separate rooms. It's a 3-bedroom house, so it has the main bedroom or master bedroom and 2 smaller guest bedrooms.
And how many bathrooms?
It has 2.5 bathrooms. That means 2 full bathrooms with a shower and a toilet, and 1 small bathroom with just a toilet, which we call a half bath or a powder room.
Ah, a powder room. Very useful when you have guests. I have a one-bedroom apartment, so it's much smaller, just the open-plan living area, one bedroom, and one bathroom. But I do have a balcony, which is a nice outdoor space.
A balcony is great for city living. My house has a garden or yard where we can barbecue in the summer. We also have a garage for the car and a basement for storage.
See, so many different words. Listeners, you can describe your place by saying, I live in a two-bedroom apartment with a small balcony, or my house has four bedrooms and a large garden.
Okay, for our final section, let's talk about adjectives and special features. How do we make our descriptions more interesting and personal?
This is the fun part. This is where you add personality. Let's start with some adjectives. Is your home big or small? You could say it's spacious, which means it has a lot of space. Or you could say it's cozy, which means it's small but comfortable and warm.
Right. Cozy is a very positive word. The negative way to say small would be cramped or pokey.
That's true. Then there's the style. Is it modern with new furniture and a minimalist look? Or is it traditional, maybe a bit old-fashioned, but with character? You could also say it's charming.
I like to think my house is quite bright and airy. That means it gets a lot of natural light and has good air circulation. The opposite could be dark or stuffy.
Bright and airy is lovely. I'd describe my apartment as modern and tidy. I try to keep it from getting cluttered, which means filled with too much stuff in a messy way.
And what about special features? What's your favorite part of your apartment, Angela?
I love the huge windows in my living room. They give me a great view of the city skyline. And the kitchen is fully equipped with modern appliances, which is fantastic because I love to cook.
A great view is a huge plus. For me, the best feature of my house is the fireplace in the living room. It makes the whole house feel so cozy in the winter. We also have beautiful hardwood floors throughout the downstairs.
Oh, a fireplace sounds wonderful. So our listeners could put it all together. For example, I live in a charming, traditional cottage. My favorite room is the living room because it has a lovely old fireplace and feels very cozy.
Perfect. Or, I live in a very modern and spacious apartment. The best part is the balcony, which has an amazing view of the park. You know, Angela, we've talked a lot about the physical spaces, but we haven't touched on how people live in them. I mean, do they own the place or are they renting?
Wow, we've covered a lot of ground today, Mike.
We certainly have. Let's do a quick recap. We talked about types of homes like a detached house or a studio apartment.
We covered location phrases like in the suburbs or downtown, and how to talk about your neighborhood.
Then we went inside to name all the rooms from the kitchen to the home office and discussed layouts like open plan.
And finally, we added some color with descriptive adjectives like cozy, spacious, and modern, and talked about special features like a fireplace or a great view.
So, for all our amazing listeners, here's your homework. Try to describe your own home using some of the language you learned today. You can write it down, or even better, practice speaking with a friend.
That's a great idea. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for tuning in to the Practical English podcast.
Join us next time when we'll be talking about how to order food in a restaurant. Until then, keep practicing.